Welcome back, everyone, to the College Commute. This is episode 4. Tom's interrupting me. But
I'm
Tom,
so sorry.
how are you doing?
I'm doing really good today. How are you?
I'm good. Like I said, this is episode 4. As of right now, we have released 2 episodes. You know, we love the feedback from everyone. It seems like people are enjoying it. We have gotten some critiques.
Shout out to our old teachers who are listening.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we apologize. But we appreciate the feedback, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry you have to listen to the things that I say sometimes, but that's okay. You're
Sometimes
probably used
it's a
to
little
it.
vulgar.
You're probably used to it, honestly.
Yeah. We just want to do a quick shout out. If you haven't already, go follow us on Instagram, PKL_studios. Give that a follow.
Our social media guy kind of sucks, but he's doing his best.
Yeah, he's doing his best. He's trying, but... All right, so today we have decided that we are going to discuss Marvel, which me and Tom, if you don't know, are obsessed with. And we're not going to talk about old Marvel today. We're going to talk about new Marvel.
We're going into the future. Heads up, if you are the type of Marvel fan that has read all of the comics and you know all of like that lore, please take a deep breath because I haven't, and you're going to get really mad at things that I say because I have no idea what's going on unless it's been in a movie theater.
Yeah, we don't know. I've watched some YouTube videos.
I like read theories and stuff like that, so I'm like pretty familiar with what's going on. But if you start bringing up like comic book numbers, like I'll smack you.
Yeah, I know. We don't know much. So we have decided that an episode in the future is going to be us ranking Marvel movies, but it's going to be a long episode, and we're not ready to do that right now. But that will come. I
am mentally preparing by rewatching the ones that I am the least familiar with, even though I'm pretty familiar with all of them. I just want to make sure that like I really know what's going on when I'm talking about them.
Let's give them a little preview, okay? Give me your least favorite Marvel movie right now.
See, I mean, obviously it's the Hulk. Does the Hulk count?
Fine, sure.
That one big sucks. Like
all right, besides the Hulk.
Ooh.
Yeah, ooh.
See, I feel like I'm so biased because I'm so invested that like part of me wants to say Thor: The Dark World.
Right.
But I also feel like every time I've watched that, I was inexperienced and naive, and like I didn't appreciate like an Infinity Stone for what it was. So I feel like now if I were to rewatch that, then maybe I would appreciate it. Because same with Ultron, like I hated Ultron the first time I watched it. Looking back, I really appreciate Age of Ultron.
Yeah, mine. The correct answer to that was Thor: Dark World. If you were wondering, I did rewatch the Thors recently with Lindsay, and I have come to like the first Thor movie. I do like that one.
I liked that when it came out.
Don't like the second one. I think some of the characters are cool, but I just don't like it.
The only thing I don't like about the first Thor was the bleached eyebrows.
That's
weird.
Yeah. Didn't he say something about that too?
I hope so.
I think he like came out in an interview once and was like, "Why are my eyebrows like that?"
Yeah, no, I have no idea. It was
weird.
Awful. I'm so glad they decided to get rid of that. I don't know how far they went with that, but
I think it was just that first.
Yeah,
one.
no, that was
and maybe
god awful.
Maybe Avengers. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so let's move on to kind of present Marvel. So we're first going to talk about the first thing that's come out, which is WandaVision. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's on Disney Plus. If you don't have Disney Plus, what's wrong with you? It's 2021. Go get it.
Message me. I have 2 accounts. You can have my second one.
Wait, you have 2 accounts now?
Yeah. When I bought the pay-per-view for the UFC
Did you
fights,
accidentally do the Disney Plus
I accidentally
one?
bought the year subscription to Disney Plus, and I have 2 year-long subscriptions to Disney Plus. So if you need an account, let me know. I'll
let Tom know. He'll let you watch one.
Just don't tell them because they'll cease and desist me. But
True.
Anyway, also first 2 episodes of WandaVision, I loved them because Kevin Feige, I trust him with my life. But just sit through them. If you don't like them, just keep watching. It gets so much better.
The second one is good.
Oh my god, the magic.
Yeah.
The magic scene.
The magic scene.
The magic costume, I should say.
Yeah. If you don't know, go watch it. You'll know. You'll know. I have to say that when I first saw WandaVision was going to be a TV show, I was the most upset. I was like, this is going to be the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Because I didn't really like those characters anyway, just because they didn't really play a part in anything. Let me tell you, this show is great.
I want Wanda spearheading the rest of the Avengers movies. She's so good.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they are setting this up for her to be like the the main female character going forward.
And I think the way that the direction they could be going with this show, if you haven't watched it, fuck off, for your own good, not my good. But I feel like it's either leading towards X-Men or Fantastic Four.
Yes.
But at the same time, I do think it's going to play a big part into the new Doctor Strange movie down the road and Spider-Man 3 as well.
Before you go any further, spoiler alerts, we will have spoiler alerts for episodes 1 through
6.
6.
1 through 6.
So beware.
By the time
Okay,
this comes out,
continue.
there will be only one episode left.
So 1 through 7, I think.
Well, we've only seen 6.
We haven't
Yeah,
watched
we've only
7 yet.
Sorry, okay? Whatever.
But yeah, so I really think that like Doctor Strange, Wanda Maximoff, and Peter Parker are going to be huge in the upcoming saga of films if they ever get released, because it is just taking so long.
If they ever get released is the
Thanks, COVID.
thing. Yeah, it's the main point of that. What was I just going to say? Oh, who do you think would win in a fight? Now that we've seen this, Wanda or Captain Marvel?
Oh, Wanda, no contest.
All
right, well, okay.
I think it would be a good fight.
It would be a good fight, but think back to
sweet.
Endgame when Captain Marvel came down and started beefing with Thanos.
Yeah.
Like, she really laid into his head, but then Thanos just straight up melted her.
That's true.
And Wanda, like, made this dude destroy his own army because she was just ripping him apart. Like, it wasn't even close. Like, if he didn't, like, call for that rain of missiles to come down, like, he would have died. He literally would have been killed right there by Wanda.
That's true.
She is wicked powerful. And if you did see the last episode of WandaVision, when she was like expanding the hex, like she's absorbing like an entire state now and controlling all, maybe supposedly. I do think that something else is at play, leaning towards Mephisto.
I heard it's again, this is what I don't know. Again, I don't know comics. I heard it's Mephisto. It's like the devil.
So
right?
I don't know if you recall. Have you ever seen Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider?
Yes.
That's who we made the deal with, is Mephisto.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Mephisto takes place. The only time you'll see him in a movie is in Ghost Rider. Obviously, he plays a bigger role in the comics, but again, I don't know anything about that.
No.
So Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider, Mephisto. They made the deal. He became Ghost Rider. So because one of the big things that tips me off towards that is in the last episode with Quicksilver, when he was like, he knew things that he shouldn't know. Because say they did recast him, they kind of mentioned that briefly, but they did this weird thing. Either way, if that is Pietro from Age of Ultron,
Right.
he was sitting there talking about like knowing that Vision is dead, which clearly happened years after.
And he is also dead.
Well, that's an issue itself. but I mean, if you're going along with it, Wanda brought back Vision, so she could have brought back Quicksilver, but it doesn't seem like she did.
No.
And he knows things that he doesn't. So I'm leaning towards him either having some kind of connection to Mephisto, which would also make sense with the commercial they showed in it with the kid and the yogurt on the island, because it kind of seemed like a deal with the devil kind of thing.
Yeah.
So maybe Wanda made a deal with Mephisto to bring back Vision, but in return he is just like toying with her too much. And there have been rumors that Mephisto will play a part in the Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah. I know original thoughts were that Agnes was Mephisto, but I think that was disproven in this last episode.
Well, there was also a witch character that they were describing her as, because the color scheme that she was dressing as matched the color scheme of the witch from
but
the
I think
comics.
now, I don't think she's anything now.
See, I want to say that, but at the same time, that could be a misdirection. Because if you really wanted to blend in and not like stick out, like obviously it would have done more to like throw Vision off. Like the conversation they had at the end of the episode, like now eyes are off of her. So Vision is not going to suspect anything from her. He is mainly looking at Wanda as the villain of Westview. Whereas had things been weird with Agnes, he could have been looking at her as the villain, perhaps. So that could have been a misdirection. I'll give it that.
It's true. I thought Vision was going to die again.
Yeah, no, I thought I was going to have to watch him die for a second time, and I was pretty upset about it because, like,
it was close.
I like Wanda a lot more than Vision. Something about the beginning of that last episode, episode 6, like, just made me really like Vision. Like, he just seemed so personable.
I miss Cool Vision when he was like flying and shit.
Yeah, and like he could literally like wax people for no
he
purpose.
just fucking shot lasers out of his
so
head.
strong.
Yeah.
And now he's just a suburban dad, no idea who he is, raising 2 kids that are growing way too fast.
Yeah.
No idea.
Okay. Anyway,
What's our next project?
I was gonna say that's our. See, the thing is, we could talk about WandaVision for hours because it's already come out.
It's true, yeah.
But so we're gonna go down the list of new things that are coming out or that have been announced from Marvel that we know are coming out, when they're coming out, and we're gonna talk about whether we're excited for it or not. There's a lot of them, so we might not go into too much detail.
We might break this into 2 episodes because this is pretty hefty.
Okay, so the next one is The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is another TV show, and that comes out March 2021, which is soon.
I believe the start of this one will tie in to be like the week after Wanda. I don't know what date it is today, to be honest.
We won't even go 1 week without something? That'd be sweet.
That would be ideal because this 1 week right now is seeming like forever.
Yeah.
To be honest, with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, originally this was the one that I was the most excited for.
Yeah.
But I feel like as time goes on and I'm becoming more familiar with the characters like Wanda and Vision, I feel like I'm slowly becoming less interested in it. Not to say that once it comes out, I'm going to be stoked and I'm going to watch it like the second it comes out every week and I'm going to fall in love with it again. But like as of right now, I feel like I'm so caught up in the other characters. Like I'm still so invested in like what's going to happen to Spider-Man. Like where's Wanda going? That
I don't really care about. Wait, do me a favor. Ask me if I'm excited about this.
Are you excited about this?
No.
No, I'm not.
You're not excited at all?
No,
okay.
0%.
Why is that?
For the exact reasons that you just said, that I'm not, like, I don't care about Falcon anymore. I don't care.
And I like Bucky. I like Bucky Barnes a lot.
But he's been in everything.
That's what I'm saying. He's already there, and we already know they're bringing back. What's the bad guy? The German guy? What's his name? I'm so sorry right now. From Civil War.
Yeah.
He has a name. He definitely has one.
I want to see Romanoff. No,
what?
That's
what?
sorry. Not Romanoff. I think it starts with an R though, doesn't it?
Yeah, no. So it definitely starts with one of the letters. But regardless, he has the purple mask. Jamie, can you pull this up for me?
Yeah,
real quick?
Jamie. Who's the villain in Civil War?
But they're bringing him back, and I like as good of a villain he was in Civil War without the full cast of like facing off against Black Panther, rest in peace, Iron Man, rest in peace. Like, I just don't think he's going to have the same hype. Jamie, did you come up with the name?
Zemo.
Oh,
Zemo.
yeah.
Jamie just whispered that in my ear.
Okay.
Terrible villain.
You think so?
Well, he's not.
He has potential.
He does, but like, I want to see them fight. Like, he's not a superhero.
Well, that's why I like it though, because he's like he's a psychological villain, so he's different than the rest. Because every villain that we see just comes in with brute force, and it's just a fight. So I like to see the psychological aspect.
Is he just like in prison?
See, I'm so confused
because after Civil War,
he tried to shoot himself in the head, but I don't know.
Black Panther.
He did stop.
Yeah.
Okay, so he definitely is in prison somewhere.
Just through all of this.
Yeah, I guess maybe he got dusted.
Maybe he got dusted, and then
when he came back, maybe that prison was in a different state, so he could have came back and escaped that way. Wow. Hire me, Kevin Feige.
I think
please.
We just figured it out.
Yeah, that would make sense to me. I do think he has a lot of potential, but like right now, as like the other projects are gearing us up towards the future of Marvel, I feel like Falcon and Winter Soldier are almost like tying up a story rather than starting a new one. And don't get me wrong, I could be wrong, but like when you're bringing in old villains, characters who have been here since like phase 1 and phase 2, you know what I'm saying? Like Bucky has been in there since the original Captain America movie. Yeah. So he's been there for so long. So it feels like we're reaching the end of their storyline, whereas like with Wanda, we're kind of starting a new one because we're bringing in new villains, new plot lines that's like completely fresh. So it's almost harder to get excited to kind of go back and see like even with Black Widow coming out, like I have wanted a Black Widow movie since Iron Man 2. Like this woman has been in my dreams my entire life, and now like they're giving us her movie at the worst time. Right.
Yeah, it says that it's going to further outline the post Endgame MCU. So yeah, I think you're right. I think it's gonna, because like I feel like after Endgame, like it ended the like I don't know, like the Iron Man phase, but it was like okay, like I feel like they might just do a one season so they can completely wrap up that story and then just completely move on to this new like weird magic multiverse.
It's just so weird to me because of like Endgame was so good. I really did. I loved Endgame the way they did it. There were some corny things in it, some things that weren't as needed. But overall, to like wrap up certain storylines and the character arcs that were there, Iron Man becoming less selfish, Captain America becoming like that true hero and like laying it on the line. Black Widow was alive and now she's not.
All right,
rest in peace. Those characters.
If we can just bring people back, maybe Wanda will bring her back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have no idea what's going on, but I feel like to not let, because Endgame was a masterpiece.
Yeah,
it really was in cinema. Like it was so unparalleled to what's happened before in the movies that it feels almost disrespectful to who died in that movie to have to use another TV series to wrap everything up fully.
Yeah, I agree. I think my favorite scene in MCU history is the scene where Tony Stark is in, I don't know what year it is, the 80s maybe, or 70s, I think, and he's talking to his dad.
Oh, in the beginning of Civil War and the barf thing?
No, in Endgame.
Oh, Endgame. Okay, when he went back. Yeah, it was the 70s, I believe.
That is one of the best scenes ever.
That was...
Because he's literally talking to his dad, who is expecting him but doesn't know that it's his son.
I feel like every time I watch that scene, it's like one of those things where it's like I know how the scene ends up. I know exactly how that movie ends.
Right.
But there's just so many things that I want to happen in that conversation that don't. And still, every time I watch it, I'm just like almost waiting for like them to talk about certain things. And I'm like, it's such a heart-wrenching scene to see that. And then like to know that like he is very close to his death.
Yeah, right.
Like, pretty much hours away from his death from that point, which is crazy.
Can we talk about? We'll get back to this list eventually, but I think me and you have talked about this before. But we know that when Tony and Cap met back,
I was hoping we were going to talk about
in the beginning of Endgame. Yes. That was the first time they saw each other since Civil War.
Yes, which is heartbreaking.
Yes, and I want to say that I don't think they fully patched that friendship.
I think they kind of did in like an understanding of like what they were going through, but I think they needed more than just like I think they buried the hatchet to say,
but they weren't
obviously.
Like, I feel like they weren't like friends again,
and it's hard to think of it that way because of how much time went by between movie releases and how much time they spent in the movies covering other things. Because if you think about it, like Infinity War, they split up the movie so much between different groups of people accomplishing different things that you almost forget like how fast Infinity War and Endgame kind of happened.
Right.
Besides the 5-year gap, obviously. But like having them break off, like they spoke to each other. Was it in the jail at the end of Civil War, or was it just when they were?
No, it was
at the base, right?
Yeah, and Tony said that shield doesn't belong to you or whatever. Yeah. And Cap just drops it and walks away.
Yeah.
And that was the last time they talked.
And then the next time after that they talked was when Captain Marvel brought Iron Man back from space.
Yeah, and he like freaked out on him.
And like I just feel like so, because if you think about it, in Infinity War they didn't speak at all. So all of the events in Infinity War happened without Iron Man and Captain America like coming in contact with each other, and that is like
it's wild,
so sad.
And like I don't know like how that worked, but it just did, and it's unreal.
And I just feel like it's so overlooked because they were in the same movie so much that you don't realize that they literally had almost nothing to do with each other. Yeah, which
also
sad.
Captain America can kick Iron Man's ass, which is sick. He kicked his ass.
I have such like divided thoughts on this because I have been an Iron Man guy my whole life, but I just love Captain America so much, and I don't know who I like more.
It was just such a cool scene.
It was. But if you think about it, like it's so cool. So the more we learn about like Tony's suits and stuff, like there's so many little details. Like in the fight scene when Captain America was beating Tony to death with his shield, you notice that he broke his helmet off first. he like ripped his helmet off and then he went after his arc reactor.
Right.
But like now that we know more about the suit, if he had broke the arc reactor first, Tony would have suffocated inside of the suit because he would have been trapped. It would have shut him down and it wouldn't have been able to do its functions. Yeah. So like just there, like, you know, obviously no one was trying to kill. Iron Man might have been trying to kill someone. He was pretty upset. Rightfully so. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. I think it was like, just, if anything, he was trying to kill Bucky.
But it was like those little moments that I think just like really make it better. And as you can see, you know, as the movies went on, you get to Infinity War and Tony now is like the nano suit technology. It kind of like makes up for some of those issues that were there before.
Nanotech is sick.
I just feel like anytime new technology comes out in a movie, they're just like, it's nanotech. I don't know what nanotech is. Maybe you do because you're an engineer. I don't know if it's valid or if like it makes sense.
It's not valid. No.
Okay, that's because they're always just like, this is nanotech. Like
it's like it's like fucking, what's the metal that they use?
Vibranium.
Sorry, there's a different metal in Game of Thrones that's similar, but it's not the same, so I get confused. But it's not. There's no metals that exist like that. Like,
yeah, no.
That you can just like you can take. Fucking Black Panther suit absorbs a bullet and can you then use that energy to like throw a sonic beam. It's like
it would be pretty cool though.
It would be.
It makes for a good movie. Rest in peace, Black Panther. Love that guy. Definitely a top 10 movie.
Yes. Okay. Let's move on. Let's get a little bit further down the list here. So this next one we're all excited for. We know that it's Black Widow.
Yes.
I mean, smoking. So
I made some comments about being less excited for it, but do not be confused. I am excited for Black Widow. I do think it's going to be really good.
May 7th.
It's not as exciting, like I said, because we're going back in time. Obviously, there's no new storyline unless they decide to bring her back because they're not against doing that apparently. But I am really excited to see more about like her Russian side. And I'm excited to see more of her in the white suit.
Yeah, me too. And I'm also excited to see whatever his name is from Stranger Things.
David Harbour.
That guy is funny.
Oh my god.
And him with he's fat and in a suit and a Russian accent, and it's hilarious.
I absolutely cannot wait to see him join them and to just learn more about like her family.
To be honest with you, I don't think the movie's gonna be that good because like
I don't. Even when I'm not excited for things, Marvel always makes me take my foot and shove it directly into my mouth. Because with Kevin Feige in charge of things, they literally have not done anything that I haven't been in love with. Even when I like fully doubt the project, it comes out and I'm like, okay, this was really good and way better than I expected. So I am looking forward to it.
It's true. All right.
I do have a question though.
Yeah, sure.
And for sake of time reasons.
Yeah.
What project do you think with the merger, we can include these other things coming over from Fox or wherever. What project do you think you're the most excited for?
I don't know. Honestly, I think I'm excited. Like, there's not one of these TV series that really stands out to me. If anything, it would be the Loki series, just because Loki's my favorite character ever. But other than that, I think that I'm excited to see what the next Avengers type movie will be. And I know that's probably like at this point like 10 years away maybe, but I'm really just excited to see if they even do one. I don't know. Like the next, obviously I don't think it's going to be called The Avengers, but like the next movie that takes all these things they've been working on and puts them like together into one movie. Because now I feel they have so many, like before when they were doing phase 1, phase 2, they had these side movies, but there wasn't like shows and this and that. And so like putting it all together into one movie was awesome. And it was still like really impressive. But now if they can do it, that's going to be unreal.
I remember the feeling of when the first Avengers movie came out, like the feeling I had watching that in theaters. I was at like a midnight release and like at Gillette Stadium at their movie theater there.
Right.
And it felt so surreal to like between like the graphic capabilities of the movie and like to have all these huge names on there. Like I've been like, waiting years up to this point watching all these individual movies to see it come together felt so like surreal to me. And like I briefly had a couple Avengers comics when I was a kid, like ones with like Ghost Rider in it, like those really in-depth ones. And I had like Ultimate Alliance on the PlayStation Portable.
Yeah,
like, I used to play that game.
PSP,
and, like,
baby.
Yeah, so like I was very excited for that. And I remember like you don't really appreciate it as much for like the new forming teams as like you just watch the releases as they come out. But I felt that whenever I would rewatch movies, so when I rewatched Age of Ultron, there was like a scene at the end of the movie where it was like Captain America was like lined up with all of these people, all like the new people that were there, and like Wanda was there, and like I want to say it was Age of Ultron, right? It wasn't a different. I think it was that.
Sure.
And they were all like lined up, and he was like kind of giving them like this pep talk speech that he does so well.
At the end of the
like,
movie,
and at the end he said Avengers,
and didn't say
and it cut off because they were teasing the assemble part. But like going back and watching that, I was like we're watching a whole different team form in front of our eyes, but sometimes we don't get to appreciate like the new dynamic and power shifts between like what's going on. Because like in the first Avengers, obviously it was like so primarily like Tony Stark running things, and then as time goes on, you start to see a lot of shifts in power, like who the new suit, like who is the more powerful, and like all this. And I feel like by the time you start to get later on, it's definitely more balanced. Like there's a much deeper level of respect between them that you see. So I'm definitely excited to see how they're able to mesh forward with who's left and who's going to be coming in.
I agree. Because, they are, I don't know if you knew this. They're reamping Fantastic Four. But it's a TV show.
It's a TV. So I was. Oh, okay. So
I'm gonna kill myself.
I was just about to say that the project that I'm most excited for was Fantastic Four. I'm a little disappointed that it's a TV show, but here's the only upside.
I'm upset.
It's gonna be longer than a movie. Yeah. So there is this upside. They need to release it all at once, because if I have to watch Fantastic Four week to week, I'm gonna freak out.
I feel like
I'm gonna get violent.
I feel like it's hard to make something into a movie, into a show that was a movie, though.
I agree, but so they've done 2 movies of Fantastic Four, 3 technically if you count the second one.
And they suck.
So I've
never even seen that one.
I recently went back and watched the original one with like Chris Evans. I loved the movie. I absolutely had a great time rewatching it. Not because like
it's fun, but it's not actually good.
It wasn't the best movie, but if you take into consideration like the advances that they've had with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what they could do with these characters, because Reed Richards, according to Marvel, is the smartest person in the universe. Not just the smartest person in the world. He is the smartest person in the universe. So I feel like bringing him in to this big like collective unit of Marvel superheroes could be a huge advantage towards making just absolute banger movies.
I agree.
However, and also, sorry, Doctor Doom, according to the comics, what I've heard, I haven't read the comics.
No, he's sick.
Doctor Doom is one of the greatest villains to ever exist.
He also is one of the strongest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if we can get Reed Richards and Doctor Doom into this Avengers-based world of superheroes, that could be huge. And obviously it's hard.
Not coming for a while, though.
Well,
I think.
They have to build up to it so much, you think, because like Reed Richards might be really young, because if you think about it, like if he's this smart, like how come he hasn't, obviously like they didn't purchase him yet, they didn't have the rights to it yet,
right? But
they have to come up with a way to explain as to why he didn't exist in this world yet. And that's why I had made a comment about maybe leading up to it with WandaVision, because we know in the comics, is it Monica Rambeau? Monica Rambeau.
Maria was her mom.
Because Monica Rambeau is a superhero in the comics. We already know that this is going to come from WandaVision based on like the blood scans and like that weird X-ray.
I was just going to say, if you missed that in the show, they said they made like a plug. They were like, "Oh, your cells are mutating, doing this weird thing," and then it was like, "What?" But then they kind of moved on. That's how she gets her superpowers. If you missed it,
we're creating a new superhero. Yeah. Watch the little stuff.
Anyone that's coming in and out of the hex, as they call it, is going to be a mutant or eternal or superhero or something.
But that's why I think X-Men, because we're creating mutants with her hex. But also when Darcy first came along, the space scientist, astrophysicist.
No.
She had mentioned the type of energy that she was seeing, which is very similar to the type of energy that blasted the Fantastic Four when they were in space in the original movie. And they did make comments about the space program. And then you see also that Rambo also mentioned that she knew a astronautical engineer or something like that.
Yes,
which could be Reed Richards.
I don't know who is an astronaut. Did they? Because they didn't. She said that, but then they didn't bring.
But then remember, she said at the end of the last episode, she said, "My guy will be ready in an hour." I think that's him.
That was at the end of the last episode.
Yes, so that's why she was leaving.
Oh, but now wait.
But I think she was the one that didn't get sucked in, right?
Right. Wait. Okay. Real quick. Do you know who did get sucked in?
The douchebag.
No. Darcy.
Oh, true.
If she becomes like a superhero, that would be fire.
I love Darcy. I've loved her since.
Dude, could you imagine if she became like part of the X-Men or something?
I think
that'd be sick.
So they have the X-Men movies. In the comics, the mutants and the X-Men are so much more vast. Like there are so many more characters that it's like unbelievable that they're not even somewhat included. So I think Marvel's really opening themselves up so much with the mutants that like with these new superheroes, like they could have a whole new storyline based fully off of that.
Right. No,
with all of these people getting sucked into the Hex. And I don't know if there's going to be a difference between people who have already been living in the Hex versus the people who have been sucked through.
I think so.
Because I would assume there's a difference because yes, they're living inside of the magical boundaries of the Hex, but I think there's a difference between that and straight up crossing through it.
Yeah, because I feel like that would be way too many people that are like...
That's what I'm saying. So the people who are being absorbed through the Hex, having to go through that kind of energy, that's where we're going to see the shift. Yeah. So that's kind of like the whole sword division right now. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to play out post WandaVision when we learn more about what's actually going on.
Also, first of all, I hope they do another season. I hope they do more seasons of WandaVision or make it into a movie or something. But if Wanda's sons end up like, because we still don't know what's real in the simulation. We don't know if Vision's really alive. So like, can she really have kids? We don't know. If those kids are real, that's going to be fire.
Well, in the comics, they're superheroes.
They already do have their powers.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so, but they do exist in like the Marvel universe as like solidified superheroes.
Yeah. So like, but like I said, we don't know if they can come out and be real or not.
Yeah.
I hope so, because I don't remember which one's which, but Tommy already has super speed, or Billy or whatever, and then the other one already has.
I'm confused on his powers.
I think it's similar to Wanda.
It seems like it, yeah, because not only did he like stop his brother.
It seems like he might become stronger.
Yeah, because Wanda. It seems like he has and the way that he could hear Vision,
right? That's
tells me that there might be like a real like Jack thing going on.
You're right. That he might just be like the ultimate, like, which would be awesome.
Stronger than Wanda. Like that doesn't exist right now.
Yeah,
so I'm definitely excited to see how it really all depends on how the next 2 episodes of this show go is going to solidify it more. But I definitely could see it leaning towards X-Men or Fantastic Four. And like I said, I am very excited for Fantastic Four because the potential that those characters have are incredible. The potential to have Doctor Doom coming into the universe is absolutely insane. But there's just so much going on. It's like hard to keep track of it. Like we could see the return of Norman Osborn because like if you think back to the second Spider-Man movie that came out, Tony Stark had sold the Avengers building to a very wealthy client. We don't know if this wealthy client is going to be the rich guy from Fantastic Four that turns into Doctor Doom. We don't know if the rich guy that bought this building is going to be Norman Osborn playing into the Spider-Man world. It could be anybody. So I think that is going to be huge in deciding where it goes from here.
Did you know that? Well, I don't know if you knew this, but that all the Marvel comics like are online. Like,
really,
you can get like subscription to this thing, and it's like you can read all. I did like a free trial of it once, and I would like to read them. I feel like this is going to sound stupid. Like I feel like it's going to make me sound dumb, but I don't know how to read comics.
They're hard. Do
you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know what's going on.
Right. Like it's just like, I know there's a certain way to like read them, but it's just like, it's hard to like, I think you have to read a few and then be like,
and like certain things are coming out of their blocks and like.
Yeah. Like some of the blocks connect. I'm like, what am I supposed to be reading?
I don't know. I would have to take a look at it. And I also feel like every time I try to read the comics, it's kind of like the Clone Wars with Star Wars. I feel like I'm too late. Like I'm too late to go back and like.
Well, there's also just there's so many.
Yeah, there's.
But I know there's some based off like the movies that are coming out, so maybe I'd want to read those ones. But then again, do I want to spoil it?
But I don't think you can spoil it because there's so many different alternate universes within the comics. Like there's comic lines where like Thanos won and like he enslaved the Avengers. There's comics where like Captain America fully became a bad guy as like a Hydra agent. You know, there's just so many different worlds in the comic universe that like
Hydra.
I don't know if we should connect ourselves to them.
Don't Hail Hydra.
Yeah, scratch that.
So we're like almost out of time here, and we got through like 3 of them. So, but I just want to. I'm gonna run down the list. I'm gonna say all of them, just so people know what's coming and what we'll be talking about in the future, and so we can remind ourselves how crazy the next 5 years is going to be. So we have Falcon Winter Soldier as a TV series, Black Widow's movie, Loki as a TV series, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings as a movie, Eternals movie, Spider-Man 3 movie, What If TV series, Hawkeye TV series, Miss Marvel TV series, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness movie, Thor Love and Thunder movie, She-Hulk TV series, Black Panther 2 movie, Deadpool 3 movie, Captain Marvel 2 movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumanium movie, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie, Blade movie, Fantastic Four TV series, Moon Knight TV series, Secret Invasion TV series, Ironheart TV series, Armor Wars TV series, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, and I Am Groot TV series.
We got so much going on.
That is nuts, and I cannot wait, and I look forward to watching all of it.
I hope you guys enjoyed our recap of what's going on. As you can tell, we kind of know what's going on, but we don't really know what's going on. We're just guessing, and I feel like that's what I love so much about Marvel is that it's such a vast universe and so many theories arise from it that it's exciting to watch because not only are you watching for that specific plot point or that character, there's always a big picture that you're focused on that is just so exciting and refreshing to have that so many other franchises didn't capitalize on when they had the opportunity.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys are most excited for in the Marvel universe if you are into that. If you're not into Marvel and you want to be, hit us up and we will give you suggestions for things to watch because there are how many movies now?
23, 24.
So there's a lot. And if you don't want to watch all of them, let us know and we will hit you up with the most important and best movies to watch and we'll get you involved so you know what we're talking about and so you can watch them in the future.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming.
Stay tuned for next week. Go follow us on Instagram, PKL_studios on Instagram. Tom, send us home.
Have a good one.